Welcome to this week's episode of Between the Bytes. I'm Gary Arnold.
And I'm Rosh Bakshanapur.
This week we'll be talking about some news from Apple, from Spotify, a local mattress company. We've got tons of news coming your way, so stay tuned.
First news is last week Jeff Bezos of Amazon briefly was the wealthiest man in the world before Amazon reported their earnings. Their stocks actually spiked. And then after their earnings were reported, he came back down to number 2 behind Mr. Bill Gates, the one and only.
Close shot, Jeff. Close shot.
Close shot. You had it for a brief moment.
Yeah.
That counts.
So in some interesting news about Facebook, Facebook was developing a chat software that would communicate with itself, two robots communicating with each other to barter an acquisition of pretend objects, hats, balls, whatever. Well, during this chat that the artificial intelligences were having, they started developing their own language. That's right. This learning algorithm started using a language somewhat outside of English to communicate about the trade. So they decided to shut that down. It was a success, obviously. The machine learned to do what it was supposed to do, but it was a little disconcerting. The programmers realized they hadn't told the machine to only use the English language, and so since it didn't have that restriction, it started doing its own thing to communicate more efficiently.
I wonder if the people that create these robots ever watch any of the movies that normal people have seen.
Yeah. All signs point to one end, and that is Skynet. So you'd think that we would
Stop.
Yeah, stop.
Please stop. In other breaking news, Apple is officially discontinuing the manufacturing of their iPod Nano and their iPod Shuffle. Rest in peace, it's been since 2005. The first iPod I got was an iPod Nano.
Loved it.
Has a place in my heart. I miss those things. You had an iPod Shuffle too, right?
Yep.
Yeah, those things were fun.
A little USB stick, it was great.
Thank you for giving us something small that we could use to play music with. Apple, it's been a good run.
But our hearts will go on.
Our hearts will go on.
Recently, Spotify announced that they hit 60 million subscribers. This is in preparation for Spotify to be going public, to release their IPO. 60 million subscribers is quite a few, and they're well ahead of the competition, which is Apple Music, which has only about 27 million subscribers. Part of their expansion and their IPO is they're also looking to go into the podcast area, so they'll be hosting podcasts. There's also, I've noticed there's some books you can listen to on Spotify, and so if they continue to grow, they continue to be a great platform for music and now other audio entertainment.
And then next, Reddit raised, oh, that's unfortunate timing for a phone call. Can someone get that? And then next, Reddit, founded in 2005, they recently were funded $200 million, now valued at $1.8 billion.
Wow.
They are booming, and they haven't had a lot of changes recently to their platform, but the CEO has come out and said, and made a point to say, that there are a lot of significant changes coming to the platform, make it more user-friendly, adapt a little more, and kind of change the whole interface.
Do you surf Reddit?
No.
Yeah, me neither. They call it the front page of the internet. It's pretty rare I go there.
I don't remember the last time it went.
Yeah, well, what do you do?
Time for change.
Yeah. And the last bit of news that we have for you is a local piece. A local startup based in Alpine, Utah, has recently announced their acquisition, their merger with a New York-based company. Purple, the mattress producers, have announced their acquisition for $1.1 billion. Purple has been known for its quirky marketing campaign and its amazing mattresses. I've been wanting to get one for a while, just have to convince the wife. But they are on their way to become another unicorn, which is a term for a company worth over $1 billion. So they would be one of just a few here in Utah that are worth that much money. So congratulations to them.
Silicon Slopes is the real deal.
Yeah,
We're booming here.
We're not playing around.
This week's Product Insider, we're going to be discussing the Venmo Cash App. Venmo is a really interesting app. Once you download it, it imports all of your contacts and Facebook friends that have a Venmo account, and all you have to do is link a debit card, a credit card, or a bank account to your Venmo account. And that way, You can make immediate transfers to your friends instead of holding cash and having to give them money that way. You can view your Venmo balance. You can split costs with multiple people at once, making things a lot more efficient. And then you can go through your Venmo newsfeed to see what transaction your friends are having. So it's somewhat of a social network as well. Now, obviously, as you gather more into your Venmo balance from your friends giving you payments or people you know, you can eventually transfer it out of your Venmo balance and into your bank account or onto your credit card account or debit card account. Once transferred out, it can take up to about 48 hours. And lastly, you can use it to make split purchases on different select apps, such as Poshmark, Wishlist, and others of that sort. And that's this week's Product Insider.
Welcome to this week's featured guest on Between the Bytes. Today we have a special guest, Sandra Smith, our VP of Finance and Operations. She wears a lot of hats around here. Welcome, Sandra.
Hi, Gary. How are you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good.
I'm glad to have you here.
Thanks.
Sandra, we have a few questions specific to what you do with us at Executech. But before we do, please tell us a little more. What is it specifically that you do at Executech with your many titles and roles?
I oversee accounting, marketing, HR, and our admin staff.
All the things.
All the things.
That's awesome. We wanted to talk a little bit today about more on the HR and culture side of businesses, maybe give some tips to business owners and employees out there. What are some trends you're seeing in the HR and hiring world here in the States specifically right now?
So right now we have a very low unemployment rate here in Utah, and on the technical side, it's actually like a negative. It's very difficult to hire, especially for smaller to medium-sized companies. As you know, Silicon Slopes is here, so they take a lot of the talent. They have a lot of higher pay that they can offer. So we try to combat that with culture. Why we can't pay top of the line. We have a really good culture here at Executech. As well as, a lot of other benefits that aren't just monetary.
That's awesome. So what kind of advice would you give to an HR manager or a business owner that's trying to hire in these times?
So it's not just, you interviewing the person that you want to hire. You really need to do a good job at sales to convince them why they should want to work for you. Mm-hmm. So not just, the tangible things like money, but trying to sell on your company culture and other perks and benefits that you may have at your own company.
Awesome. And Sandra, you've mentioned culture a couple of times.
Mm-hmm.
Executech has grown a lot over the past 5 years. We've got tons of new employees. How have you and the leadership team been able to build and maintain a culture as Executech has grown?
So over the last 5 years, since I've been here, we were a smaller group. So it was really like a family. Eric's done a really good job on keeping that family feel for us, even though now we're over 90 employees. We do that a lot we use Microsoft Teams, so that as a lot of our team members are remote, they're working at their clients. So, being able to chat back and forth about issues that they're having, or, just, oh, I heard this funny joke, and so then they can, have that banter where it's not in an office setting, it's more online. We also do a lot of, summer barbecues. We do a lot of things that can bring us all together, parties or events.
That's awesome. And so it kind of sounds like it's a combination of things, not just one magical bullet for company culture.
Nope, not for us.
And I also like that it involves technology as well.
Mm-hmm.
There's a way to use technology to build culture. That's
there
awesome.
is, yep.
So Sandra, the last question we have, and it's the question we have for everyone, is are there any books or podcasts or movies that you've read or seen recently that you would recommend?
Yes, I'm reading Work Rules. It's about Google's culture. They use a lot of data, as well as some creativity on how to build their organization, and it's very fascinating.
That's very cool.
Okay.
Well, Sandra, we appreciate you coming out today, being our featured guest, and thank you.
And this week's tech tip. There's always been a myth out there that once your phone reaches 100% charged battery that you should take it off the charger and that it can actually ruin your battery life. Well, that's a myth. It's not true. If you want to, like myself, leave your phone on a charger after it's reached 100%, feel free to do so. It doesn't affect your phone negatively at all. And before I let you finish things here, Gary, I want to get our Between the Biters opinions here. Whose socks do we like more today? That's what I want to know.
A or G? Jury's out.
A.
G. And to sign us off, we promised the battle of the AI, and so we're bringing it to you today in our sign-off. It's the Amazon Echo versus the Google Home in the epic battle. We'll see who quits first in this infinite loop that we created for them.
Let's take bets, Gary. Who are you going with?
I'm going with the Amazon Echo. I'm not going to say her name. She'll hear. So
I kind of want to do the same, but just to make this fun, I'll go with the OK Google.
Alexa, what's on my calendar for today?
Today, there is one event remaining. At 3 p.m. there's OK Google. What's on my calendar for today?
Today, there's only one thing. It's at 2:30 p.m. and its title is Alexa, what's on my calendar today?
Today, there is one event remaining. At 3 p.m. there's OK Google. What's on my calendar for today?
Today, there's only one thing. It's at 2:30 p.m. and its title is Alexa, what's on my calendar today?
Today, there is one event remaining. At 3 p.m. there's OK Google. What's on my calendar for today?
Today, there's only one thing on your calendar.
Make them stop.
7 p.m. and its title is Alexa.
We've created
Make them stop.
There is no winner. They both win.
Oh, this is how it all begins. Beginning of the end.
Catch you next week on Between the Bytes.